Have you ever wondered why Egypt's new capital is bankrupting the country? Let's dive into the roots of this grand project. The Egyptian government, brimming with aspirations, envisioned a modern world-class city that would alleviate congestion and overcrowding in Cairo, the bustling capital of the nation. Imagine a city that breathes life into the desert, a city that stands as a testament to technological advancements and architectural brilliance. That was the dream. The dream of a city that would rise from the sands and shine on the world stage. The plans for this urban wonder were ambitious, to say the least. State-of-the-art infrastructure and technology were to be the lifeblood of this new capital. Gleaming government buildings, set to house the wheels of administration, were to form its heart. Residential areas, offering a haven for its citizens, were to be its soul. And cultural landmarks, preserving the rich history and heritage of Egypt, were set to be its identity. The new capital was envisioned not just as a city, but as a beacon of progress. A symbol of Egypt's stride into the future. A testament to the power of human ambition and the drive to create something monumental, something unforgettable. But as with all dreams of grandeur, reality often paints a different picture. Behind the glittering skyline and the promise of a brighter future lay an undeniable truth. A truth that was as clear as the desert sun under which this new capital was to rise. This grand vision, however, came with a hefty price tag. Building a city from scratch is no cheap affair. Indeed, the estimated cost of Egypt's new capital city is a staggering figure, soaring into the hundreds of billions of dollars. A number that's hard to fathom, isn't it? This city wasn't intended to be a budget project, it's an ambitious endeavor, a vision of a modern Egypt. So, how was this colossal project to be financed? Well, the government had a multi-pronged strategy. Funds were to be pooled from various sources, a combination of loans, foreign and domestic investments, and, of course, public funds. It's like baking a cake, where each ingredient plays its part in creating the final product. But in this case, the cake is a city, and the ingredients are billions of dollars. Loans, as we know, come with an obligation of repayment, and investments? They hinge on the promise of future returns. Using public funds, on the other hand, means diverting resources from other areas that might need them more urgently. Each financing method carries its own set of risks and challenges. And it's not just about getting the funds in place, it's about managing them efficiently, ensuring that every dollar is put to good use. It's about making sure the costs don't spiral out of control and the project doesn't turn into a financial black hole. Economists and financial experts had their concerns. They raised red flags, warning of the potential for economic fallout. The risks were substantial, they said. The project could burden the economy with debt, divert resources from more pressing needs, and potentially lead to financial disaster. But like a captain steering his ship through a storm, the government was undeterred. They believed in the dream of a new capital, a symbol of progress and modernity. Despite the warnings, despite the potential pitfalls, they pushed ahead with the project. Despite the risks, the government pushed ahead with the project. As construction began, the cost of the new capital started to take its toll. The financial challenges that emerged during the construction of Egypt's new capital were like a sandstorm in the desert, unexpected, overwhelming, and hard to control. The project, initially pegged at an estimated cost, soon spiraled out of control. The costs began to balloon, exceeding the initial estimates and leading to budget overruns that would make even the most seasoned economist wince. Imagine setting out on a journey with a map and a budget only to find that the map is inaccurate and the budget woefully insufficient. That's essentially what happened with the new capital project. The cost of construction materials skyrocketed, labor costs rose, and infrastructural challenges became more and more apparent. The price tag of the dream was becoming far greater than anyone had anticipated. But these weren't just numbers on a balance sheet. The real-world impact of these financial issues began to ripple through the Egyptian economy. The country's debt began to climb, reaching unprecedented heights. Economic instability started creeping in like a thief in the night, destabilizing the country's financial markets and creating uncertainty among investors and ordinary citizens alike. For the average Egyptian, this economic instability meant a higher cost of living, fewer job opportunities, and a future that seemed increasingly uncertain. The dream of a new capital, once a beacon of hope and progress, was starting to resemble a pyramid scheme of epic proportions, with the country's economy bearing the brunt of the cost. The dream of a new capital was starting to look like a financial nightmare. The reality check was harsh and unrelenting. As the sand settled, it became clear that the cost of the new capital was more than just monetary. It was a cost borne by every Egyptian, a cost that would take years, if not decades, to repay. With the new capital still under construction, the financial repercussions are already being felt. Indeed, the economic climate in Egypt is echoing the strains of this ambitious project. The new capital, seen initially as the harbinger of a brighter, more prosperous future, seems to be casting a long, dark shadow on Egypt's present economy. To finance the dream of a new capital, the government has heavily relied on borrowing, leading to a surge in the country's public debt. This debt, coupled with a high inflation rate, has resulted in an economic scenario that's far from ideal. The strain of the new capital's construction cost, which is in the billions of dollars, has been a significant contributor to this financial maelstrom, but that's not where it ends. The repercussions have extended beyond the macroeconomic level, affecting the pockets of everyday Egyptians. The burden of the budget deficit, another fallout of this project, has led to increased taxes and reduced public spending. This, in turn, has fueled public discontent, with citizens feeling the pinch of austerity measures. Critics argue that the government's prioritization of the new capital over other pressing issues has been misguided. They point out that the country's economy was already grappling with challenges. Layering a mega project like the new capital on top of existing issues has only compounded the economic stress. In response, the government has been making efforts to address these concerns. They've been trying to boost foreign investment, increase exports, and implement economic reforms. However, these measures are yet to yield the desired results, and the criticism continues. Some argue that these are mere band-aids on a deep wound. The new capital, once seen as a beacon of progress, is now viewed by many as a symbol of economic misjudgment. The project, though born out of a vision for a better future, seems to be leaving a trail of financial distress in its wake. The new capital, once a symbol of hope and progress, is now a symbol of financial distress. So, what can we learn from Egypt's new capital project? We've journeyed through the dream, the financing, the reality check, and the aftermath of Egypt's new capital project. Now it's time to glean some wisdom from this ambitious venture. Firstly, the project underscores the importance of realistic budgeting. A dream, no matter how grand, must be grounded in financial reality. The new capital project was a massive undertaking, and it seems that the initial budget didn't fully account for the scale of the project. It's a stark reminder that when budgeting for such large-scale projects, every single detail counts. A miscalculation or oversight can lead to a snowball effect, causing costs to spiral out of control. The second lesson is about the necessity of thorough financial planning. Egypt's new capital project encountered numerous financial hurdles, which could have been mitigated with more meticulous planning. It's a testament to the fact that financial planning should not just be about sourcing funds, but also about planning for contingencies, managing risks, and ensuring sustainability. This brings us to the third lesson, the importance of risk management. Every project carries inherent risks, and the larger the project, the bigger the risks. The new capital project faced a myriad of risks, including financial, socio-political, and environmental. Effective risk management could have helped identify, assess, and mitigate these risks early on, potentially preventing the financial distress that ensued. Finally, the project offers insights into how such initiatives can be better managed in the future. It highlights the need for transparency, public consultation, and inclusive decision-making. Additionally, it underscores the necessity of conducting comprehensive feasibility studies before embarking on mega projects. While the dream of a new capital may have been ambitious, the reality has proven to be a costly lesson in economics. The story of Egypt's new capital is a cautionary tale for all, reminding us that dreams and reality must meet at the intersection of practicality and feasibility.